All right, thanks, Christian. All right, basically, you could just take a couple minutes to introduce yourself. Any background you think is relevant that we should know, about your time on the legislature, and then questions after that.
Sure.
About 20 minutes total. So.
Okay. My name is Dr. John Syracuse. Very interested in seeking my third term for re-election to the Niagara County Legislature, District 18, that covers Somerset and Newfane. Along with my wife, we are incorporated as Newfane Family Chiropractic, small business within the town of Newfane. We've been in business since January 1999. At that site, we employ 2 people. We have been very active in our business community since we've started. I'm on my second year as Vice President of Newfane Business Association, wherein I served, I believe, 2 years as President. I'm a past President of Newfane Lions Club, and I'm a board member of our Newfane Optimist Club. I am the proud husband of Regina, who's also a chiropractor, as I've stated earlier, and proud father of 3 girls, Sarah, Emma, and Sydney. And we live in Newfane.
Okay. All right. Successes over your 2 terms, you said. Anything you're proud of? Anything you want to point out?
I guess on the public sentiment side, probably since the first thing we got out in front of was doing away with the lifetime benefits of an elected official, specifically the legislative side, lifetime health care benefit, which is a huge, I thought, a very positive step towards, at least since I've been in that legislature, a sign of maybe listening to the community on that. I don't think that's ever been tackled before, and I don't think it would have been tackled if myself and a couple of newcomers at the time, Glenn Arno, Rick Updegrove, really didn't push that issue. I supported that. I thought that was a very good win for the community. Has potential to have huge savings. Let's see. Now I'm going to be drawing the blank. I have this all timelined out. I guess where do I start? We certainly look at the most present time right now. I guess turning around where we were with the IDA when the Democratic leadership controlled that. I'm told through our economic development area that was really on the verge of bankruptcy and probably taking the Niagara Falls International Airport with it. So we have certainly stabilized the IDA, and certainly have begun to provide flights out of the Niagara Falls International Airport, specifically the flights, the round trips to Myrtle Beach. And our own Newfane varsity baseball team took advantage of that this last season. Now we're going to Florida, and there's talk of Ireland, and that's not even discounting the fact that we got the air cargo that we're talking about, the NFTA infrastructure towards the terminal. And it's very exciting. That certainly has been in process since really the first day that we've taken place, probably the economic development of that. We're continuing to right-size the county government. I hesitate to say decrease, or we just don't know what price we're willing to pay as taxpayers, what the type of government. But if you clearly see, we started somewhere in maybe the high 1700s down to the low 1700s. Doesn't sound like a lot, but we're doing that. We're segueing out of some non-essential businesses that should be the role model for the private sector. Certainly our own Newfane Rehab has really benefited from maybe a redundant service to Mount View. We're at full capacity, and we need nurses out there. So that's really a perfect design, I think, as to matching government with the private sector. The private sector maybe assisting with the transition to privatization. I think that's a win-win out there for all of us. And we've seen over a period of time a steady decline of a property tax increase. It hasn't been perfect, but we're looking at a downward trend,
right.
Which is very, very positive. And a lot of that goes to the county manager coming up with good directed business policies, in the legislature, at least the side that I'm on, or the majority, really having the will to accept some of those, a lot of those challenges. We look at the fund balance that is there, and twice since my tenure has Moody's upgraded our bond rating. So I think if you look at a lot of the challenges that the United County residents have faced, I think since I've been in the legislature, and I have to tell you that the team that I'm on, the majority caucus, has really instituted a lot of changes over time. I really would challenge any other form of government to come up with these types of objective outcomes. And let's face it, a 4-year term.
Right.
I mean, I'm just astounded. And as a side, I can't imagine how the national news hasn't picked up on an elected official doing away with their own money bag, so to speak. And I don't mean that as a certain, where we've cut our own benefit.
Right.
And the government has gotten out of a business in Mount View. We've taken a lot of heat for that, and rightfully so, I think, from those that have the special interest to it. But I think we've had the leadership to take the listen to the silent majority that's out there. I think that certainly the very vocal minority, the people that these decisions are going to affect, are going to speak loudly. I can't blame them for that.
Right.
I don't think I would do anything differently if some of these changes would affect me as a citizen. So I can respect that tension there. But I think for the greater good of advancing, some of these tough decisions have been made. And they're not easy, believe me. I don't think there's one person on that legislature that is very happy in making these types of decisions. But I think they're ones that I feel I've been elected to make those decisions on behalf of the people. I don't go into there and make a John Syracuse decision or a party decision. I think I'm a solid independent voice for my district. If you look at my voting record, certainly along the way there are two major votes, I think, relative to, notwithstanding the AES issue.
Right.
I'm not including that. Look at the pay raise for the Niagara County Sheriff. I was the only person on that legislature to vote against that. I'm not too proud of that, because I think the sheriff, you couldn't pay him, you couldn't pay a sheriff enough to do the job. But I think the major conservative base says, enough's enough.
Right.
And it's one thing that, again, I'm not excited to do that. I think most people don't get what they're worth.
Right.
And that's, inclusive of me and the reporter staff, all of us. I mean, we'd all love that. Sure. And also the treasurer's raise. I voted against that twice. The only individual on the legislative floor to do that. That's, again, not, the chief fiscal officer of the county, again, elected official, they know what's going on. It's different if we're talking about rank and file, department heads, etc. But when it comes to the vote, I think you look at that independent